Guns up, Poke fans. It's time for PokeCast. Broadcasting live at Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles. Now, here's your host, Jim Gazzolo.
Welcome back to Mr. Bill's on a Thursday night, not a Wednesday night, a Thursday night. We were a little busy last night, so please forgive us for not being here. Welcome back to Mr. Bill's. This is the PokeCast on 92.9 The Lake. We're waiting for Will Wade to ambiance up here as he runs around. Oh, he wanted the applause. See, that's it.
I didn't know we had started.
You just wanted the applause, right?
No, I didn't know we had started. Sorry.
We had to have a look at me moment, didn't we?
No.
Had to have a look at me moment. No. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hot dogs today?
No hot dogs today.
All right.
Did you get your car fixed?
It was just a flat tire.
Were you going to drive over here?
It was just a flat tire.
That was a flat tire.
I drove onto your lot. The lot
It's not my lot.
Well, the lot that was supposed to be paved by now for me, still with gravel. I drove onto it. I got a flat. Cost me a few dollars. I'll charge Mr. Schwer for that.
Okay.
How's that?
I'm sure he'll be glad.
I was appreciative that when you were running, you were looking to make sure my car was okay.
I did. I told you. It was that early that morning. It was still safe and protected.
That was good to know. It's good to know that you were watching.
That was top of mind for my concern.
I'm sure it was.
Have you told everybody the big news yet?
No, I have not. So
make sure you turn that speaker up so everybody can hear the big news. Everybody got this? We got the biggest news of the week. Bigger than the Pokes going to the NCAA tournament. We got the biggest neuse of the week. Tell everybody what you're doing tomorrow, Jim.
I'm doing an interview at 2:30.
No.
Stories are.
Tell them what time's your. Tell them what time.
9:45 tomorrow morning. I will be at Man Cave. Yes.
We get him a haircut, a real haircut.
You know what was sad about that?
He's getting a real haircut tomorrow at 9:45.
You know what was sad about that was making.
Somebody wants to go film it or something. Let me know. If we get footage.
Why would anybody want to go? Okay, so I've
actually got an appointment tomorrow for 12:30 there. I'm going to ask him if you were a good customer, if you're ornery like usual, how everything.
Here was the problem. The woman was very nice that I called and asked.
Yeah, you can go online and do it, right?
That's way above my.
Well, don't you write stories online? You use a computer, right?
I write a story.
You still use a typewriter.
I send it in as an email, and I'm done.
Oh, okay.
And then when I post them in a special spot, and those are two little things I know how to do. I don't know anything else.
Gotcha.
So I just asked the woman very nicely. I said, "Can I have an appointment?" She said, "Yes." This is the other day. She goes, "Where do you usually go?" And I told her. I told her.
She said, "Where is that?"
No, she didn't. She was very nice. She goes, "Well, what do you want done?" And I go, "Well, a haircut." And she goes, "Well, what do you usually ask for?"
It's called the contraband special.
She goes, "What do you usually get?" And I said, "I get a haircut." I walk in and I say the usual to the guy, and he puts me with a student, and they give me a haircut. So this could be interesting tomorrow how we figure out.
You gonna let me know how your experience is?
Sure, it'll be top of the. I'm sure top of your list.
Yeah, but I don't have anything else going on tomorrow, so I really need a report on your haircut.
No, that's sad enough. But the bigger thing being the fact that my wife is like really interested in it now because she thinks I needed it more than anything else.
This is good.
This will be good to see. She said this will be good to see.
Good.
So yes, I'm getting the Will Wade special, which
no, it's called the Contraband Special.
Yeah, she told me that
at Man Cave. That's what it's called.
But you know the good thing about it is tomorrow morning I'll be able to watch basketball because all the tournaments will start right around then.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So I'm excited about that. Speaking of tournaments,
we're going.
Yes, but more importantly, you won one.
Yeah.
Is it more exciting?
I was going to ask you, what do you think about a couple weeks ago you were talking about maybe we'll play LSU in the NCAA tournament. You still think that's going to happen?
Why would you text me that today? What goes through your busy mind that's going to text us in that group? That little 3-person group text we've got.
I was just asking.
Where we tease some people. Shall we say. And all of a sudden I look up, and I hadn't even known the final score yet. I did not know they were a final. I had flipped them off to go to the Big Ten, which I occasionally will do. I will watch the Big Ten more.
Oh. Why would you watch that?
Because the other game was LSU. What do I care about LSU?
All right, what do you want to talk about?
So my question to you is this. Is it a bigger deal to win the Southland, or as one publication put it, the Southern Conference you won last night, I saw, the Southland Conference title or the NCAA tournament, or is it just a package deal?
It's a package deal. I mean, look, it's a big deal to win the Southland. Obviously, we hadn't done it in a long time. But, I mean, to get to the NCAA tournament's the biggest goal. I mean, anything from here on out is lagniappe. I mean, we've hit the main target. Now, are we good enough to go there and win some games? At 110%. But a lot of it now's, I mean, ask me after the draw on Sunday, kind of where things stand. A lot of it's based on the matchups, the draws. I've been asked 100 times, do you want to be a 12 seed? Do you want to be a 13 seed? I don't give a damn what seed we are. I want to be a seed that puts us against the teams that I want to play. I got a group of 6 teams that I would like to play, and that we match up numerically.
You gonna give us them?
Hell no. But I got a group of those teams, and I want to be across from one of those.
Okay, so I won't get into the teams, but I was going to do this further on down because you always criticize I don't take notes and do it. I wrote up some notes today because I have some things specific I want to get to you with, but.
That's good. This is your last night in hell before you get you get me out of this thing.
Yeah. So, but I won't get into because
we're going to do this from the NCAA tournament site. Is that the goal?
I don't know anything about that.
I thought you told me that's what we were going to do if we made the tournament.
I didn't say any of that. I haven't said anything.
Yes, you did.
I don't have the equipment.
Oh, okay. Aren't you traveling now to the NCAA tournament with us for the newspaper?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, you've heard rumors. You should know. We're going in a week. You should know.
I think you guys are putting me in storage under plane or something.
Huh?
I'll just be underneath in storage.
We'll put you with the tube with the band.
We were discussing this on the Twitter or on the text. It's been a long time since I traveled to the NCAA tournament. It's been
very cool.
25 years or so.
It'll be cool.
Almost 30 years.
It's changed a little bit.
I've heard it's changed a little. Now I've been to them when they were close.
Where do you want to go?
Well, I got a friend.
Have you looked at all the cities? Where do you want to go?
Well, I'd like Memphis.
You like Memphis?
Yeah, I don't think you'll get to Memphis, but I would like Memphis.
Why would you like Memphis? Why would you like Memphis?
Because it's a drive and I get to hang out and I don't get pushed.
You like Beale Street?
Yeah, it's all right. I like Salt Lake City because I got friends in Salt Lake City. A couple of guys I worked with in Salt Lake City. I don't want Brooklyn because I hate getting around New York. Pittsburgh is okay. It's not a bad city. It's easy to get in and out of. Spokane, I'm not a fan of.
I don't even know where all the sites are. Those are some of them. Where else we got?
Well, those are your possible 4. Charlotte would be your other one. I think of the 5 or 6.
Aren't there 8?
Yeah, but there's like 4 or 5 that I think you're a 4. There's 4 you're a site of. I don't think you're going to. I think you can break it down to the 8 you're not going to be.
Which 4 do you think we are going to be?
I think I would guess Salt Lake City.
I've been sent there twice, so that would make sense. I think the NCAA, if they could, would send me to Iceland, but they're gonna have to settle for one of their eight predetermined sites.
No, I think you're now a loved guy from the NCAA because they see an opportunity to make money off you. That's what the NCAA is. Now they're like, hey, I think we can make some money off this guy.
I don't know about that, Jim.
Oh, I think so. Everybody gets second chances. It's America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your whole team is second chances.
Yeah. Some third.
We won't get into some of those. But
by the way, do you know who Wells is now? I mean, damn, he's the player of the year, the newcomer of the year, and the conference tournament MVP. Can we pronounce his name right?
I just call him Hottie.
Pretty good player, huh?
Yeah.
If anything, I undersold him.
You did actually undersell him a little bit.
If anything, I undersold him. One thing that's crazy about him is the best trait he's got is in the biggest moments he can perform.
Yeah.
Think about UAB.
Yeah.
Michigan. These 2 games in the conference tournament. Like, when we need him, he's aces. And so, I mean, that's a huge thing to have. And you got to understand now, too, he's the only guy we've got that's got NCAA tournament experience. And so, that's a huge...
You ask me to come up with these things to talk about, and then you talk about them before I even get to them. You know that.
Well, maybe.
By the way, you just basically told all these people out here not to read the paper tomorrow because that's exactly what I wrote.
Well, I didn't know that. I don't read the paper anyway, so.
I know, but that's still, you just take away all my.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but the biggest, and he didn't, the thing is, he didn't take always the big shots. His pass at Lamar, he makes the big plays, but he makes the right
steals.
plays.
I mean, second in the country in steals.
Yeah.
He can fill up a stat sheet, but when we need him to score and when we need him to boogie and make things happen,
yeah,
I always say it's better to have tricky players than tricky plays. He's got some wiggle to him. He's the one thing
McNeese has never had.
Yeah. What is that?
That I've been here. Somebody, a point guard or a guard that's big that can finish at the goal. And what I mean by big is physical that can finish at the goal.
Gotcha.
That's a must-need in the Southland Conference.
Gotcha. We got a question here.
Yeah, I know. I saw it online. I was going to get to him.
Oh, he asked one online?
Yes.
Can you hear me? All right, there we go. Yeah, somebody asked me to ask you a question. With all the hype from the media and the fans and just winning conference and everything and only having one of the players with March Madness experience, how do you keep the team focused and, not overexcited or not too celebration and all that before you go and play a big game?
It's a good question, Chad.
That comes from Chad, who is nice enough to host us here.
Yeah, he was nice enough to host our after party last night.
That's what I heard.
We had the trophy sitting on the bar, Jim.
I heard that.
We had the trophy up on the bar.
I left at midnight and I had to come back at work at 5 a.m. Thanks.
That hurts.
Sorry.
That hurts.
Look, today we didn't, we were off today. We're off tomorrow, and then we're gonna lock back in on Saturday. We're gonna practice Saturday. We got some team stuff on Saturday. We're going to practice Sunday and do the selection show, and then we'll move right into it. I mean, obviously, Hade's the only player with the NCAA tournament experience. My entire staff and I have been a bunch of times. And so, there's some things that you have to do differently. Just the rhythm of things are different. Just everything's a little bit different. And so, we've got a plan on how to manage it and how to make sure that we put our guys in the best spot. And, I think one thing that's unique is when you play in the NCAA tournament, you're usually in, NBA arenas. The rims are a little bit tighter, so you need to get your confidence going to the basket early, draw fouls, get to the free throw line. You don't want to come out jacking a bunch of threes necessarily because they're harder to make until. So there's some little things like that I think we can help our guys with. That we'll be prepared for, and to make sure that we give ourselves the best opportunity to play as well as we can and hopefully win.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that people kind of forget is it's new to everybody, even if you've been there 1 year before, because you might be in a different city, different town. Everything's new, kind of, but just the shoot-arounds are different because there's people watching.
Yeah, the shoot-arounds are. They're
a media event.
Everything's different.
So. With all that, how locked in were you guys in this tournament for the Southland? Because I thought you played your two best back-to-back games. I know the crowd was with you, you had a lot of things going for you, but you also had a lot of pressure on you guys because in a one-bid league, 17 wins doesn't matter if you don't win the last game.
Correct. What'd you think? We were locked in.
But how'd you keep them locked in? Because you were off for a week.
We know what we're doing. We've done it before. It's not our first rodeo. Look, it's a lot of it's a credit to the guys, but it's got to be a slow build. You don't want to peak. You don't want to peak too early in the week. And I thought we did a good job with building our way up to game day, and to the semifinal game. And our guys were locked in. Our guys were prepared. They knew what was at stake. They're not dumb. They're very smart guys, and they knew what was at stake. They knew what we needed to do to finish the job. And we talked about the last part being the strongest part. You can do whatever you do in life, basketball, whatever it is. The last part needs to be the strongest part. And so we talked about that, and finishing strong and doing what we need to do to finish strong. And our guys understood the task at hand. They had a lot of respect for Lamar. We have a ton of respect for Nichols. And we showed up and played some of our better games.
When we come back on the PokeCast, we're going to talk about what he's looking for in the tournament and how many hot dogs he eats in a day. After this.
Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, is locally owned and operated. Don't forget to check out Mr. Bill's Seafood Express daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express also has live music every Thursday and Saturday night. Chad Pusall and Jason Guillory, the owners of Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, proudly support the McNeese Cowboys. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, says, "Go Pokes!"
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Keelan Construction. Keelan Construction is South Louisiana's leading vertical and horizontal general contractor. Keelan courageously pursues complex challenges to advance further the life and culture of our staff and the communities we serve. And also brought to you by Southwest Beverage. Rooted in the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954, Southwest Beverage has been a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations. Bud Light and Southwest Beverage has been a loyal supporters of McNeese State University for over 30 years by providing athletic scholarships as well as scholarships for students. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana and will continue to be here for many years to come. Thank you for your support of our brands and McNeese Athletics, and as always, go Pokes. We're back at Mr. Bill's and on 92.9 The Lake for the PokeCast with Will Wade, or as it's commonly known, the Will Wade Show. See how you get that? Okay, I heard some stories about last night. I won't get into details, but one of the stories that fascinated me is how many hot dogs you eat. Do you eat a hot dog a day?
I don't know if not one.
Would
a
you
day.
average one a day?
No, maybe one a day. Yeah, I eat them at night a lot when I'm at home. Yeah.
So have you gone to, wait a minute, this is big now, people. Have you gone to a local restaurant at some point in time and asked if they have hot dogs?
Yeah, I go to the Southern Spice.
Okay. So then why was it a big deal that I wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from here?
It wasn't. I was just peanut butter. Like, you don't. You go to a seafood.
It's a hot dog.
But you go to a seafood restaurant and ask for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's odd.
And not at a hot dog at a Southern Spice place isn't?
No, Southern Spice has also. They have burgers, hot dogs. They kind of go together. You come into with crawfish and shrimp and asking for a damn peanut butter and jelly. That doesn't go anything with. That goes. We got po' boys, and you're asking for a peanut butter and jelly. It's like something you get off the kids menu.
See, I thought we were a little bit close. I thought we were more alike than that. So I thought we had a bonding moment there with bizarre taste.
So
no, I guess not.
Here's the thing with Southern Spice. So I didn't realize.
I'll keep my distance.
No, I didn't know this. So July is National Hot Dog Month. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Actually, that's why the July 4th and the whole thing.
Okay, I didn't know that. You're way ahead of me on that. So during the month of July, he had the chili dogs there.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Best thing on the menu. And so I went in there probably 3 days a week and got them for lunch. Saw my friend here for lunch. Saw my wonderful friend here for lunch, our esteemed nursing professor. And so then after July, I didn't realize they came off the menu. I didn't realize you only had them on the menu for July. So every time I go in there, I'm like, we got the hot dogs? And they didn't have the hot dogs. And so then it became, well, we don't have the hot dog. We don't have the chili cheese dogs, but we got hot dogs. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to put it back on the menu. And he put it back on the menu, but I guess I was the only person who bought them. So they went back off the menu. So that's kind of where we are right now.
You know when I respected you? God. This is true. I don't care about the basketball. I don't care about any of that stuff.
I did. Now, we'll say this.
You said.
You know Lake Charles Toyota at their tent out there.
Yes.
I had hot dogs before both games.
Yes, I know that.
I had hot dogs before both games.
We have a spy on you before games, by the way.
Huh?
We now have a spy on you before games.
Great. Just what I need.
But the one thing I admired about you was this.
It's like having the FBI looking after you.
You were right. I didn't want to go there. You were right when you picked the right hot dog place in Chicago. Portillo's.
Oh, yeah.
And you were right
the Italian beef at Portillo's is as good as the hot
best,
dogs.
Yes. And
you told me, what do you order it for? The first game of the Cubs and the White Sox? Your White Sox,
I ordered
right?
the beef for the White Sox home opener, and I ordered the Giordano's pizza for the Bears home opener.
That's what it was, yeah.
And you picked Giordano's pizza.
I said Malnati. We were talking about Giordano's.
Malnati's,
but Malnati's, too.
Yes. So I was very
Chicago's
impressed.
Not a regional site?
No, it's not. No, that's too bad.
When we were at VCU the year we went to the Final Four, that's where we started. We started in Dayton, and then we went from Dayton and we played at the United Center. We played in Chicago.
It's the house that Michael built. Did you go by the statue?
Oh, yeah. We took a picture. I think we took a team picture in front of that thing.
I was born 3 blocks from there sometime. You should know that. A little different neighborhood back then. A little different neighborhood. Okay, can we get back to basketball? Can we get back to basketball?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
All right. The one thing I wanted to mention about this week, your bigs really took the games over, I thought. especially the first night against Lamar. And I thought that was a question mark going in, was Lamar's size especially, and maybe Corpus Christi's size. Those are the two things I was thinking about. Were you surprised with how much?
Did you tell everybody you called the upset? The New Orleans over Southeastern?
No, I don't tell. It's not about me.
Called the upset.
I also said I thought Nichols could beat Corpus.
Yeah.
I also said Lamar was your biggest competition. You blew him out. So what do I know? But your bigs played really well, the three of them especially.
Yeah, if you're in those meetings watching me challenge the bigs, you'd have played well too.
Cullum seemed to be very inspired, shall we say.
On the rebounding. I told him, I like your threes. I love your rebounding. Get your ass under there and rebound.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. But obviously you challenged them for that. But did they feel challenged by past games? Or because that was an utter domination inside against Lamar.
I thought Felder was tremendous. He was so physical. Shoemate, like I said, there's 2 or 3 rebounds a game. He's the only guy on either team who can grab them. And so I thought he was really, really good going to get the ball. I told him, like, we got to be ball getters. Like, sometimes you wait for the ball. Like, you got to be ball getters with 2 hands. Go up there. If they crack you in the ribs, they crack you in the ribs. You got to go get the ball.
Yeah.
And we hadn't been good enough. I went down there and took over some offensive rebounding drills this week to drive home the point of how I wanted it done. And so, sometimes you get a little sloppy as the year goes on. But we went from, in 2 weeks, we went from 6th in the league in offensive rebounding percentage to 2nd. And if we'd had another week, we'd been 1st. We'd have knocked out Corpus. But all that is, well, you should be booing that I had us in 6th. We were so bad.
Only I would do that.
But, yeah. But, I think that it's just a refocus of what we needed to do. We've had big bodies and good bodies all season, but there's a little bit of a refocus on what we actually needed to be successful and to do.
So you took over the offensive rebounding. So you taught Shoemate this week about how to basically bring
all
one
that
from
is
his
putting
ankle.
When I go down there, that's just they understand there is added emphasis on that, and if you don't do that, then we'll find somebody who will do it.
So did you teach him though how to do that from the ankle?
No.
That's the best offensive rebound dunk I've seen.
You can't teach that. You know what that's called, Jim?
Something I didn't have. Athletic ability.
Well, but it's really called recruiting. You go recruit that. They can either do it or they can't.
But that to me,
it's called recruiting.
That seemed to be the big difference was you took over the boards, really, and I think that surprised people. All right, so let's get into. We won't mention the teams you want, although. Would you like to play Clemson?
I'm not telling you who I want to play.
Would it be fun?
I'm not telling you who I want to play.
But would it be fun? It's your school.
What? Clemson?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. They got a good team.
Okay, I was just asking if it would be a fun game, though. So, what type of team do you want to play? If you don't, we don't want to hear who, but what? What would you like to see?
I'd like to see a team that runs patterned offense. If you run patterned offense, we can shut you down. I want patterned offense.
Does it matter if it's a mid-major or a big major?
I don't care who it is. I need patterned offense. If you run patterned offense, we'll have a chance because we can hold you in the 60s. If we hold you in the 60s, we're going to have a chance.
So you're what worries you?
I don't care. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what would worry you? What type of team?
A team that has free-flowing offense with tons of spacing.
And transition threes?
Yeah, I don't worry about that.
So, all right. So, do you have a favorite city you'd go to? Just for a city. You said you've been to Salt Lake twice. Would you like a third trip?
I mean, look, I wouldn't mind going to Memphis just because, one, it's close and a lot of our fans could drive there. Yeah. And two, that's where Cullum and Jones are from. So it'd be kind of cool for them to go back home. I wouldn't mind going to Indianapolis just because that's where Saunders is from. Although I think there's no chance we go to Indianapolis.
I don't think
Can you imagine
either.
me in the same city as the NCAA headquarters?
I don't think you have too many fans there that would say, "Let's bring him here." No, I don't think so.
So, I think Memphis would be cool. But look, I don't have wherever it is, we're going to be excited to be there. I can promise you that. Been 22 years. We're going to be fired up to be there.
I would know some people in Indianapolis, too.
All right, good.
So, but no, you're not.
Well, that's how we want to choose. Wherever you know people, that's what
I think that is important. I think that is important.
That's an important criteria, right?
I agree. I agree with that. Okay, I had another internet question for you.
Okay.
How much do you decide on when you bring in players? How much is that a set pattern, and how much is it a feel for what the game's flowing?
A lot of it's just a feel. We have a general idea of how many minutes we want to play each guy, but a lot of it's just feel on how the game is. And, we're not a team that sits guys with 2 fouls. We'll play them with 2 fouls in the first half. That's why Shoemate picked up 3 fouls at Lamar. We're like top 10 in the country in 2-foul participation. A lot of people sit people with 2 fouls. I figure if you're going to foul out, I might as well let the referees foul you out. I'm not going to foul you out sitting you on the bench.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense to me. But, a lot of it's feel. My assistants do a lot of it. They have good feel. Vernon and Brandon have really good feel. And then obviously if I feel like I need to step in and want to put somebody in, I'll go put them in. But, they've got good feel on it. Like Hade, look, when you come down the stretch, you want to ride him as much as you can. He's going to play as close to 40 minutes as he can in the NCAA tournament. But we may get him a breather right before like a lot of times we'll take him out right before one of the media timeouts so he can rest. Then we get the long media timeout. The other thing is, in the NCAA tournament, and even like I don't know if the fans could tell, but when we're on linear TV like we were on ESPNU, and like the timeouts are longer.
Yeah.
The TV timeouts are longer. So you have a longer time to rest. In the NCAA tournament, they're even longer than they are normally. And so, you have a lot of time. I always say this. I think depth is overrated for games. Depth is underrated for practice. You need good depth to have good competitive practices against each other. For the games, shoot, you can play 6 or 7 guys and be fine as long as nobody's injured. But you can play 6 or 7 guys and you'll be just fine. So, we're gonna play who it takes to win.
Yeah. But the other day, you got DJ shooting back again. Seemed like he got his touch back. I think he hit 5 of 6.
Yep.
You got Garcia. Looked like he was.
Garcia was a monster.
Yeah, I think he's been the most underrated player in the conference.
I thought he should have been on the all-conference team. I was pretty mad about that, honestly. I thought he should have been on the all-conference team.
I did too. I thought he should have been second team.
I thought he should have for sure.
I think he doesn't get enough credit for the defense he plays and how many different positions he plays.
But he's also, he's darn good on offense too. He shoots over 40% from 3. His 3-point percentage is about what DJ's is.
Yeah.
It's just different how he gets them. And he doesn't have quite the flair for the dramatic DJ.
Many people, not many. He ends up.
Did you see that outfit he was wearing yesterday?
Yes.
Him and Shoemate.
Yes.
The outfit they were wearing. Oh my God.
Yes. And I jokingly said, if you win that, I will wear that. I'm not wearing that. There's no joke in that. Nobody wants to see that. I'd much rather see Bonnet as the Bandit. Much rather.
I know Bonnet had to retire the Bandit for the conference tournament.
He didn't retire the first game. He was there for the first game.
I know, but he couldn't get out there and do his deal, get everybody fired up.
Why? It's Schwarer's building.
Huh?
It's Schwarer's building.
Yeah, but the conference takes it over. Trust me, if it was Schroyer's building, we'd have had more people in there than our damn conference let in that thing. I can assure you of that. The fire marshal be damned with Heath Schroyer. I can assure you on that. Right, Coach?
I hate to say this, but I think the last 10 minutes or 8 minutes of the game, he was far more nervous than you. Far more nervous than you.
I didn't see him. Where
he was
he?
pacing kind of a little bit of a half pace in the corner there.
That's a lot of work that he's put into it for 8 minutes. It's tougher. I will say this. Like, it's tougher. He's a coach. He knows. Like, when you're coaching, you feel like you've got some level of control over everything. So you're focused on he's got no control over. He's got to hope that the guys play well, that that I've got them somewhat prepared. He's got no control over what happens.
Did you see him after the game?
Yeah, I saw him after the game.
Taking the picture with the commissioner of the trophy? Don't put that on social media because the conference will go nuts.
That's all right.
The conference will go absolutely crazy with that picture.
I think they've already figured out that the home court advantage here is a little more than they maybe bargained for when they gave us that tournament.
No, I think so. From a year, before it was like, who cares?
I think they figured it out. I can't wait
to. Going back to last year, they're 4-1.
We're going to walk into the conference meetings with our arms raised. Like, we're here, baby.
They're going to be pretty happy with you guys.
We're going to walk right into those conference meetings. We're going to have those on campus again, too. We host those, too, again, Heath. The spring meetings, we're going to host those again, too, like we host everything else.
That's lovely. Way to rub it in.
Huh? Oh. It's all right.
We're
going to walk down the Riverwalk like that with everybody.
Well, I'll be happy to go to that.
He said we win. We're playing Gangster Paradise. I don't care what they say.
How about the band? The band learned Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah,
how good was that? The band's on it.
I actually liked where the band was. I thought the band there was better.
You did?
At the end zone? Yeah, I did. I don't know.
Well, I think you got a problem with that because those are a little bit better seats that he probably wants to sell.
Well, I'm sure if he wants to sell them, make the band pay for them. That's all you do. Make the band pay for them.
Can't do that.
Sure he could.
No. Those students, no.
Somebody, he would find a sponsor for it.
That's true.
When we come back on PokeCast.
Somebody asked me this morning, they said, what do you think he's doing? I said, I have no idea, but he's probably picked up about 3 checks by now.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I have no clue.
Well,
I can't tell you exactly what he's doing, but I'm assuming that that's what he's doing.
Well, I just remember a week ago when the league came in here and put in the big scoreboard, I called him up and I said, do you want one of those? He goes, I've already made the phone calls. It was like an hour into this.
Yeah.
So. Nothing gets by him. When we come back on PokeCast, we'll talk more Will Wade, NCAA tournament, and what the Southland Conference was like this year after this.
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union. Southwest Louisiana Credit Union now offers an account just for McNeese students. It's the blue and gold checking account. All it takes is $5 to get you in. You get a free debit card, online and mobile banking, and access to a smart ATMs. There's no service charge. You can even get free financial counseling. That's why Southwest Louisiana Credit Union is now the official credit union for McNeese students and McNeese athletics. Find out more at swlacu.com. To open a blue and gold checking account, go by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union at 4056 Ryan Street, about a block away from campus. Membership is required.
As the oldest athletic booster organization at McNeese, the McNeese Cowboy Club is proud to continue providing support to all McNeese athletes for 49 years. We meet every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in the Cowboy Club room located over the south end zone with talks from coaches and other leaders in McNeese athletics. Come join us and discover what being a McNeese athletic booster is all about.
And go Pokes.
We're back with Will Wade from Mr. Bills on 92.9 The Lake. This is the PokeCast. So this morning I wake up, ESPN's announcer is saying the Cowboys are the one team with the automatic bid nobody wants to see. Do you buy that?
I don't know. One thing that's tough is, when you're the team that everybody picks, that team usually doesn't do it.
Kills the bracket right away.
Usually, this team's going to win it. This team's going to win it. Usually that doesn't happen. So we'll see. Like I said, it's not as much. It's about the matchup. It's about the matchup. And so,
You think any of your friends at the NCAA will give you a kind of a favorable matchup?
I don't know. It's the selection committee. It's not them. Selection.
So you got a better chance, is what you're saying?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
I don't know, but I wouldn't go that far.
Talking to some of the coaches this week, one of the things that they talked about was how much better the league was this year.
Good league now.
Three teams with 20 wins, 4 teams with 19 or better, an improved Lamar, improved Nichols, obviously an improved McNeese. How much better do you think that gets the Southland Conference winner prepared for the NCAA tournament? And how much of a benefit can it be?
I think it helps. The problem with our league this year was, Lamar was a very good team, and they dropped a close one to Pacific in the non-conference. They dropped because it took them a while to build towards what they were doing. And so you really need, Lamar will be good next year because they're going to keep a majority of those players. They lose Pryor, the point guard, who's a good player, a key piece, but they're going to keep a majority of those other guys, and so they'll be able to get off to a better start in league or out of league. And what we really need to do is win is win out-of-league games. Like, that's the most important part, because the problem we have is you don't get any yeah, Lamar was really good. Corpus was really good. Corpus lost to some tough teams and some bad teams in non-conference. And Nichols was very good. Southeastern was good, and they were terrible. They're the worst of any of us in the non-conference. And so you get no credit for beating those teams when they've gotten better and they're playing well in conference. And Commerce had a pretty good non-conference, and then they played us really, really well. And then the bottom kind of fell out with their injuries and some of their other stuff. And so, the bigger issue is, everybody being able to sustain it beginning, middle, and end of the season to where it doesn't hurt when you lose to some of these guys. Like, it's a backbreaker when now we needed to lose a game, so the loss at Southeastern, but that's a backbreaker. We'd be 2 seed lines higher if we hadn't lost to Southeastern. But that's, if we hadn't lost to Southeastern, we probably would have lost somebody else. But it's just one of those deals, and hopefully that, I never forget. You know me, I'm not much on excuses. I'm not much on the woe is me. And the first coaches meeting I was in for the conference last spring, we were talking about stuff, and one of the coaches was like, why are we talking about this? If we get in, everybody's going to be a 15 or 16 seed. Stephen F. Austin's best team was a 14 seed, and like this. And I'm sitting there thinking, damn, that's a loser's attitude. Why the hell can't we be better than that? Like, what sort of attitude is this? But that's kind of what permeates. This was a coach who's been in the league a long time, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Why can't we be a good? We got just as much opportunity as everybody else. Why can't we go do it? But that's kind of the attitude that permeates a lot of these programs and a lot of these coaches. Like, all right, let's just win it, and we'll get in the play-in game and see what happens. I mean, I think you heard about the door code where we had 3-2-1 for March 21st.
Yeah.
As our door code in our locker room. Well, that was the Thursday of the NCAA tournament. I wanted to make damn sure we weren't playing on Tuesday or Wednesday in the play-in game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was all by design. But I think just we've got in the Southland, everybody. Like, I think Lamar is really invested in basketball. I think Corpus is really, really invested in basketball. When you look at both their men's and women's programs are all in the top part of the league. And then there's some guys that outperform, like Nichols and Southeast. There's some guys, but we need more people that want to move forward in the league and want to. I mean, there's no reason. I'm not saying we're going to be a multi-bid league. That's almost impossible because of just the economics of it all and the buy games and all that sort of stuff. But we can certainly be a league that gets a seed that's good enough to win a game. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we've proven that this year. Now, whether or not we go win it or not, that's a totally different story. But I mean, I look at it like winning the lottery. The more ping pong balls you got in there, the better chance you got for them to draw your number. And so, if we're able to, if the league, hopefully it's us, but if the league's able to, over a 5-year period, be an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seed as opposed to a 16. If you get those 5 seeds over a 5-year period, you're going to win one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to win one. I mean, 11 seed wins 36% of the time, or 38% of the time. A 12 seed wins 36% of the time, and a 13 seed wins like 22% of the time. And then it goes a little bit down from there. So, you just add those percentages up over a 5-year period, you're going to get a win. Somebody's going to draw it and get a win. So why can't we do that? Why do we have to be in the damn play-in game every year? That should be our goal. But with that, you need exposure. You need to move the games. There's a lot of other stuff that goes with that people are just too slow to maneuver around. But
even now, after seeing what Monday night did for you guys and how much attention you got in Monday nights.
Oh, there's people in the league that hate playing on Monday nights. You got to understand. We look at it as a positive. See, this is the problem with everything. Everybody gets in there and says this, it's supposed to be about the players. It's supposed to be about the student-athlete experience, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing I give Heath a ton of credit for. I mean, it's about that with him. A lot of administrators get in there and say that, but they don't care about that. If it's truly about that, we get way more exposure for your university and for the student-athletes on Monday night. But they look at it like, oh, my God, I got to get a table crew and pay the table crew to come in on Monday night when I could just shortchange him. If we did the doubleheader, I could split the baby and pay him half of what I got to pay him to come in. Oh, I got to get ushers to come in on Monday night. Oh, I got to get security to come in on Monday night. See, they look at it as we play Thursday, Saturday, Monday. They got 3 days now they got to staff a gym, as opposed to if we play doubleheader, they got 2 days. So what happens is you got more lazy schools in the league than schools that want to win and want to advance the league, and the lazy schools have more votes, so everybody has to go down to the bottom denominator of what they want to do. And that's how you end up with what we got.
Oh, you're sunshine.
It's just the truth.
This is why the league loves you.
That's the truth.
I agree with you.
Listen, here's the thing about me. I'm not saying anything here that I have not said in front of the other people.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, it was pulling teeth. Like, here's the thing. I know the people here are going to disagree with this for the most part. The officiating in this league is not that bad for what we pay. For what we pay, it's not that bad. I mean, we should have the 3 blind mice out there for what we pay.
So some nights you do, but
no, it's not that bad for what we pay. It's not that bad. They are capable officials, and some of them are very good officials for what we're paying. But you bring up that we want to pay more for officials, and they look at you like you got 3 eyes, because then that's another added expense on top of playing 3 days. Now we got to pay more for officials. Well, yeah. I mean, it's basic economics. If you could go work this game for $2,000 or this game for $3,500 on the same night, which game are you going to work? The $3,500 game. Everybody in here would do that.
Yeah.
And so it's supply and demand in basic economics, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. And so, like, it takes everybody to kind of raise it up. And I will say this, our commissioner wants to push it up, but the commissioner works for the presidents, he works for the schools, and he has to do what the majority of the schools and the presidents and the athletic directors want to do. But hopefully, the problem with us is everybody goes, well, he's crazy. He's a former basketball coach. Wade's crazy. He's a basketball coach. They've got the nicest arena. They got all this stuff. Like, we can't replicate what they're doing. You sure as hell can.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
You sure as hell can.
Because this wasn't here 6 years ago.
Correct. Wasn't here 2 years ago. We had all the same stuff, but we didn't have that. And so you can, but they don't want to put the effort in. It's easier to complain and blame this and blame that and pinch your pennies. Like, it's way easier to do all that than it is to raise it. I saw it happen when I was in the Ivy League with Tommy Amaker, which I know nobody here follows Ivy League basketball. But for 20 straight years, Penn or Princeton had won the league. You go look this up. Every year, Penn or Princeton won the league. And Coach Amaker came in and said, we're freaking Harvard. How can we not win the league? And within the Ivy League, there's this thing called the HYP, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. They're they look at like the rest of the schools like they're junior colleges, and the HYPs, like that's the only real schools in the league. Cornell's like half public, half private. So they look at Cornell like they're, they might as well be, University
Mississippi
of
Junior College,
University of Mississippi. Like they look at them like they're nothing. But Coach Hammer's like, no, we're the Ivy League. We should recruit better. Kids want to come here. Kids want to get an education. And then he broke through, and Cornell won it and went to the Sweet 16 one year. Then Harvard's won it a couple times. Then Yale's won it a couple times. Now you can't win it at Brown, Columbia, or Dartmouth. They got no chance. But every school's like, well, damn, we want to be pretty good at basketball. So they start investing in basketball, and everybody gets pretty good in basketball. Now you got a good league. They've got like the 14th or 15th best league in the country, and we're sitting at the 27th best league in the country.
Well, that's what I'm waiting to see is, do people see what's happened here?
Yeah, they think it's an outlier.
That it couldn't pay off for them.
They think it's an outlier. They think that it can't be done. They're going to be disappointed. It can be done. We're going to do it again.
Stephen F's done it in the league, so it's been done before. Not like this, not with this much attention, but
Correct.
It has been done.
Correct.
So it's not impossible. It's just what you want to make.
Correct.
I will give some of the people ahead of you before you got here credit. Is they came up with the slogan, "Why not McNeese?" And that was always a question I wondered was, why can't you do? Because I would ask for 10 years, why can't you do it here? Why do you do it this way? And I would always get, well, that's how it's always been done.
Right. And that's just why we should not do it that way.
So I actually came up with a phrase once called "unMcNeesing McNeese." And that was bringing in coaches that weren't just a McNeese person up and trying to go out and do different things. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see We'll see if it works next week. When we come back, we'll finish up with Will Wade on the PokeCast here from Mr. Bills.
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Twisted Vines. They offer residential and commercial lawn and landscaping maintenance, irrigation and drainage installation and repairs, outdoor landscaping, lighting, holiday and event light installation also with 3D drawings. Contact Ryan Boyd at 337-274-2267 or email info@twistedvineslc.com. Like them on Facebook and follow on Instagram at twistedvineslc. If you mention you heard the Twisted Vines on the PokeCast, you will receive a 10% discount off your purchase. And Pompelli Tire, official tire store of McNeese Athletics. Experts in tires, EV-specific tires as well. We do more than just tires. Mechanical work as well. A full-time mechanic is on site at all times to help in your needs.
We're back for the final segment with Will Wade. What could be the last time you're here for a while? If you get to the Sweet 16, this will be the last time he's here for a couple of weeks. How's that?
Be great.
You get to the Sweet 16. Okay, something that hasn't been played out much, and I think it's a bigger story than people think. You've essentially set the record for 19-win turnaround in the NCAA.
It's the largest in NCAA history.
It ties it with Ohio State, yes.
I know.
What does that mean to you, and why
awesome.
do you think people have picked up on that?
I don't know.
Because
awesome.
that's a huge
Yeah.
19 is a huge turnaround.
It's a big turnaround.
And it wasn't like you won one game last year. You did win double-digit games last year.
Right.
So that means, did you ever expect 30 wins?
No. Never in my wildest dreams.
Did you really expect 23 plus 1?
Yes.
Okay.
100% I knew we were going to do that. But I thought the map, I think I've told you this, I thought the map was 8-5 in the non-conference, 15-3 in league. That gets us to 23-8. When, I thought that'd get 15-3, probably get us the 1 or 2 seed. And then we'd have a chance to win the +1 or +1 or
the
so.
+1
in the
game in the first round of the
I was
tournament.
kind of thinking 25-ish wins overall. But, hey.
You got 30.
Undersell, over-deliver.
You got 30.
Yeah.
And you're probably disappointed in 30 when you look back. Think you could have had 2 more, maybe?
It's not all in a vacuum like that. Because, if we win one of those, we may have lost one of the other ones because you can tighten your team up. I mean, it's all, there's an ebb and flow to the season. Like, you have a different team every game.
Yeah.
And so there's an ebb and flow to the season. So it's not as simple as, we could have picked this team off and done this, and it's not quite that simple.
How excited are you for Sunday?
Oh, fired up.
I mean, not just the fact that you're gonna.
Have we announced all the stuff that we got going on Sunday?
I was gonna get into that. Sunday.
Bonnet, go up to the mic so you can tell everybody what we got going on Sunday.
But poor guy's here having dinner.
Yeah, but he's
the poor guy's with his wife having dinner, and you drag the poor guy up there. You throw him into a costume, and now you're gonna drag him up here. Poor guy's overworked. He needs more money.
He does.
Never. There's never overwork for something like this. That's for sure.
Well, you're underpaid though.
Well, he's not listening.
Oh, he's listening. Trust me.
Right.
He'll get to your bonus after he gets his car tire paid.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, Sunday, we will have a watch party at the Legacy Center.
Tell him who's coming.
The doors are going to open at 4.
Tell him who's coming.
Well, I thought you said the doors were coming. I was going, what?
CBS will be there. They're going to do a live cut-in tour. They're going to do a live cut-in to show the reaction of the players and the fans and everything. The big video board, they're going to keep that there. They're going to lower it probably about 20 feet. So we're going to have to ask everybody to sit in the Platinum Club area, that side of the stadium. Concessions will be open. Beer will be sold. Outfitters Inc. will be there to sell stuff, their gear, championship gear. It's going to be a great day, obviously. We want that place full for CBS, as full as we can get. The doors are going to open at 4 o'clock. It is free for everybody. And then the selection show starts at 5. And I was reading an email about we'll be selected anywhere between 5:15 and 5:45, depending on the region we're in. So make sure you're there. 4 o'clock, the doors open.
There you go. They've put a lot of work into that. Bonnet and Heath and the team have put a ton of work into making it a really cool deal. And I think it's just,
that's just an amazing thing.
CBS is going to be here. It's going to be, we're going to be on every TV in the country.
That's hard to believe.
From Lake Charles. It's going to be just awesome.
That is amazing. And to realize it's 3.5 years after Schweier stood there with water in his ankles.
Yeah.
Or up to his knees, depending on what time he's telling the story. But yeah, it is an amazing.
I heard it was up to his shoulders.
No, this is what happened. This is the truth part about this. So the first time he tells the story, because I wrote about it, he tells the story. It was up to his ankles. Okay. The second time he tells the story, we're getting to the calf, then the knee, then the thigh. Then he tells the story.
The waist.
He tells the story.
Waiters.
He tells the story of somebody. He goes, it was darn near up to my waist. He says. So he comes back. I'm sitting there. So he comes back, and I go, you're going to tell this story so often, you're going to drown. I don't think you believe it. You're going to drown in this thing.
Oh man.
So but I think people, that's what the people miss. Is a lot of people want to focus on you and your rehabilitation and all that. But I think the real story is what this group of players has done for a community to kind of reestablish its pride. You talk a little bit about that. You get choked up when you talk about that. You had tears in your eyes the other day over it. Yeah. What does it mean to you to be a part of that? Because you weren't here for it.
No, but I was driving around today to see the billboards up everywhere. That was cool. It's been fun. It's been awesome, and it's just one of those deals you try to enjoy every minute of. That's why I wanted to win this tournament so bad for our fans, for our players, just to finish it off the right way. And we wanted to make sure that everybody was doing what needed to be done, so we could put the cherry on top. And it's been cool. Very rarely do you have a connection like we've had with our team, our players, everybody, with the fans, with the area, and that's been it's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can keep it going a little while longer.
But it's strange because the kids weren't here. They're just here from the summer on, most of them.
Yeah.
How did they get into kind of the whole thing about the town and that as much as you?
Well, I think they all know the history. Look, man, you can still drive around town. There's tarps on roofs. There's tarps on roofs on buildings on campus. We've got condemned buildings on campus still. We can't get in, and FEMA won't give us the money. So, they're not oblivious to everything. Then you know how they are. They can Google it and YouTube and see what went on. And so, I think a lot of our guys, I think it boils down to always talk about, you want to keep your appreciation high and your entitlement low. And when we've got guys who have been a lot of different places, and I tell them in recruiting, like, look, because most of them never been to Louisiana. I say, look, man, there's some stuff that's a little bit different down here, and like there's some things that are different, but we have the best people in the entire world. There's no better people than what we got. And so, like, they understand when they come here that, the currency is the people. And it's the people. I sell that on our, look, man, you may not like everything I do, but I got the best staff. I got the best support staff. Like, I got the best folks. This community's got the best folks. We're going to take care of you. And they understand that, and they're appreciative. And anytime you get, and that's something, we're going to have to work. That's one of the things I'm worried about in recruiting this spring. Like, you got to get people that want to come here for the right reasons. Now everybody's going to want to come because we've been winning. All they see is the winning, and they think we're just going to sprinkle pixie dust on them, and boom, we're going to go win again, and you're going to be a good player. That's not how it works. So you got to make sure you got people that got the right fiber, got the right stuff to them. It's not just a talent grab. Like, we put together a good team. It's not like we just grab talent from, and we did. They're talented players. Yeah. But we put together a good team. It's about piecing together a team. And so you have to be very cognizant of that when you're winning, because you've got to make sure that you get guys that value the things that have gone into winning. And so, if you don't, you get what Pat Riley calls as the disease of me, where it's just all about me and what, it's not it's what the player can do for himself, for the university, for the area. It's not what the area can do for the player. And so they get that inverted. You get that equation out of whack, and you're in some trouble.
And that's hard to do in because today it's even harder.
Yeah, but we spend a lot of time in the summer. Every Tuesday we do a team thing, and we do a team talk, and we do the leadership meetings every week, and we do the retreat. I mean, we do a lot of things to
go unnoticed by the fans.
Yeah, but it's like our players say new school, old school. So we have fun, and I let them play their music and all that stuff that I really don't like. I let them wear the shoe. I do all that. But
were you okay with the costumes yesterday?
I mean, it is what it is. But no, it's not my favorite thing. But I'm gonna let them be themselves. And so, but when it gets down to business, we have a blue collar, old school work ethic and way about us. And so they all understand. Hey, this is what you sign up for. I tell them in recruiting, you become us, we don't become you. You're gonna do what the hell I want done. And if you don't want to do that, when you sign here, that's the agreement you're signing. How I want it done is how you're going to do it. If I do what you want done, we're going to be sloppy, we're going to be lazy, we're going to cut corners, we're going to have lack of detail, we're going to have lack of discipline. We're not having any of that. So you're going to do it how I want it done. Now, if you don't want to, go somewhere else, and that's fine. We'll just kick your ass because that's what they're going to let you do. But, I'm very clear that that's how it's going to be done. Now, if you do what we want done, you're going to become a better player, you're going to become a better person, you're going to win, and you're going to have way more opportunity for you in whatever you do. And so, when you leave here, you're going to know what good looks like. You're going to know, you can beat 95% of the people in basketball or 95% of the people in the world if you show up on time and you give great effort. Because most people don't show up on time and they don't give very good effort. And if you can do those two things, you're already ahead of 90% of the population. And so that's the basics of what you're trying to start with.
Well, we have a question. State your name.
Chris Hutton.
What's up, Chris?
Coach Wade, I'm just curious. I know in your opening press conference you said we get 23 wins. So can you just talk a little bit about how it feels to reach that success, maybe to a greater magnitude than you expected, and kind of how you got your guys to buy in and kind of make this vision a reality?
Yeah, look, all the guys knew what they were signing up for. We were honest in recruiting. We told them this is what we're trying to do, and hey, if you want to be a part of something special, there's something unique about doing something for the first time. You can go to a lot of places and do stuff that's been done all the time. And in recruiting, Kentucky sells, we got this many pros. Well, did Kentucky make the pros, or did the pros make Kentucky? The pros made Kentucky. The better players you got, the better program you got. So why wouldn't you come somewhere where you can carve your own path and help make the program what it needs to be, as opposed, those programs were built on really good players. And so, we talk to our guys about that and making sure that we put the right people in. And look, we're all here for a common goal, and that's to win and to help you get better. And if you don't want high expectations, like all that was, the 23+1 was setting expectations, resetting expectations. The reality is, when we signed up for this, everybody in this restaurant, if we'd have won 20 games, would have been very, very happy. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody would have been very, very happy. But, then it got a little bit, once we started taking off, everybody was like, shit, 23 ain't going to work. We need more than 23. But I knew when I got up there, like, hey, if we fall a little bit short, everybody'd be pretty pleased with 20. But I knew we were going to get to about 25. But I didn't know we were going to get to 30. But it feels good to be at 30, I'll tell you that.
So, see, he's got an LSU jersey on.
Yeah.
I want to point this out to you. First time I saw it this week in the Legacy Center, I saw 3 guys come in wearing a hat. The Will Wade Brigade from Baton Rouge. It's a Will Wade Brigade Baton Rouge. So you're bringing fans from all over the state.
You got a bunch of people from Baton Rouge there.
You going to be the only team in the NCAA tournament from the state? Or did Tech get in?
Who? Louisiana Tech? They already lost. Grambling's the number 1 seed in the SWAC tournament. So Grambling or Southern have a chance to win. But if not, just be the Pokes, baby.
So you get the whole state behind you.
That's right.
Well, keep watching to see when we're on next. Also, don't forget the watch party on Sunday at the Legacy Center. We'll see you next time.